Hello and welcome to the Comeback Mechanics April 2025 Gym Leader Challenge Tournament. My name is Cody Hope, casting for you this round 2 feature match between Alan Schultz on Ancient Core Fighting and Cody Hope with the Hitmonbros. The Comeback Mechanics are a competitive team based in Dallas, Texas, and this matchup is from our Tourney Together Gym Leader Challenge Tournament. Our Journey Together We're doing a tournament for the new set, Journey Together. And we have a lot of cool stuff coming up, so make sure you follow us on X and subscribe to the channel so you can see what we've been cooking up. But first, we want to make sure we give a big shout out to Lone Star Pack Breaks in Carrollton, Texas, who very generously provide prizing for all of our monthly tournaments.
Join Lone Star Pack Breaks live on Twitch Wednesday through Friday nights to rip into the latest Pokemon sets in English and Japanese, plus One Piece, Weiss, Union Arena, Final Fantasy, and more. LSPB ships anywhere in the U.S., or if you're local, choose in-store pickup at their shop in Carrollton, Texas. Pickup orders are usually ready 1 to 2 days after a stream. Plus, if you're a Pokemon player, don't miss their standard tournaments every Wednesday and Friday at 7:30 p.m. Check out the links below to get in on the action.
Big thanks again to Lone Star Pack Break for supporting the channel. And real talk, y'all, if you're a supporter of our grassroots team and you really enjoy the content that we make, really urge you to check out the sponsor in the link down below. Doing so really helps out the channel. It's one of the big reasons why we're able to do stuff like this, so it would really mean a lot if you did that. But let's go ahead and get into the games here. Cody is on the right, and he is playing the Hitmonbros combo deck here, and it is based around going from the Hitmonchan into the Hitmonlee into the Hitmontop. Now, unfortunately for him, though, Alan is over here on the left playing this Ancient Core Fighting deck. We've seen this deck be featured on stream before, and it only plays 5 Pokemon. It plays all of the ancient fighting Pokemon. We see that Alan has opened on the Sandy Shocks. The other Pokemon in the deck are the Slitherwing, the Koraidon, and the Great Tusk, which we see is stuck in the prizes here. Thanks to our Matty Map house rule, we get to see that. Helps me out when I'm doing coverage and helps our players not have to spend so much time prize checking in a singleton format like this. But back to Alan's deck here. Aside from those 4 fighting Pokemon, we see that the only other Pokemon in the deck is the Okidogi. The idea here is just to kind of get these couple of big attackers set up, use things like a Sorola and Penny to pick them up once they've been damaged, and kind of take over the game from there. Everything else in the deck is pure gas here. We see one of my favorite little interactions here. We see the Team Magma's Great Ball being played to get a fighting energy. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, why are we playing this card? Why not just play something like an Energy Search, or hey, something like an Earthen Vessel maybe, or a Professor's Letter? Why not, right? And the answer is because we can get Team Magma's Great Ball off of Ball Guy. Gonna see the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule over on the Sandy Shocks, and then just gonna see it pass over to Cody here. Cody has opened on the Hitmonchan, which is one of the better starts to the deck here. And we're going to see he's going to use that letter, use that Matty Map, and unfortunately the Hitmontop is prized here. But the hard part about this matchup exactly is the finishing combo to put 60 on everything doesn't really do a lot here because all of these ancient Pokemon have well over 100 HP. So it takes a very specific combination of cards here to get knockouts here. We do see the Professor's Letter, going to get 2 fighting energy out of the deck. We're going to see an attach to the Hitmonchan, and then big Guzma here for Cody. Really great start. Just going to discard those 2 fighting energy. And with the Guzma going to get to search his deck for a stadium. We see he's going to grab the Brooklet Hill. And then going to probably grab a special energy. It's looking like he is eyeing up that unit energy. Unit energy, really great for the Okidogi. And the tool is going to be the interesting one here. I imagine we might see something like the U-turn board. Could see something like the float stone maybe. But yep, just going to see the U-turn board and then that unit energy. So very nice for Cody, starting to get his stuff set up here. I imagine the Brooklet Hill might just, he's going to grab that Okidogi out of the deck. I think this is going to be a bit of a war of the Okidogi as we go throughout this game. Okidogi has that very powerful Adrena power, where if it has a dark energy attached, it gets 100 HP and it does 100 more damage. So that is 230. Big HP, dealing 170, knocks out most things in the format. And we are going to see he's just going to hit and run for 30, and then not going to opt to switch into the Okidogi. Wants to keep it fresh here. We see that Alan has played the Hisuian Heavy Ball and is going to get that Great Tusk out of the deck here. Now, I have a little bit of insight into what Cody's thinking. I know, bit of a psychic here. In Cody's brain, he's going, well, this Sandy Shocks, in order for it to hit for 90, which is enough to knock out this Hitmonchan, he's going to need to put 2 energy in play. And there's no way for Alan to put 2 energy in play because, there's no Raihan shenanigans, nothing like that. Should be safe here. And we're going to see here in a little bit, that is not the case here. We are going to see a bench of that Great Tusk, and then we're going to see the Brooklet Hill, allowing Alan to search a Pokemon out of his deck. And with so few Pokemon in the deck, this is huge, because sometimes the hard part with this archetype is just getting those basic Pokemon into play here. And I imagine probably just the Okidogi makes probably the most sense here, but could maybe see the Koraidon here. Could see the Koraidon. See, he's eyeing up the Slitherwing as well. Again, only got those 3 options. Those are the only 3 left in the deck. So we'll see which one of those 3 he ends up grabbing here. And going back and forth between the Okidogi and the Koraidon makes a lot of sense here. If the plan is to use that Magnetic Burst attack with the Slitherwing, doing Koraidon on the next turn with that Unrelenting Onslaught attack makes a lot of sense here. But just going to grab that Okidogi. Makes a lot of sense here. I think that is going to be the card of the matchup here. And we see here, going to be a big Arvin coming down. It's going to allow Alan to search his deck for a tool as well as an item card. Can't make the joke every time. Stops being fun. But again, lots of options here because so much of the deck is not Pokemon. Alan does get to play quite a bit of item cards here. We just see that there is a surplus, a big, there's 20, 30 item cards in this deck. Quite a bit. In terms of tools, we know that it's Bravery Charm, Luxurious Cape, and Floatstone, as well as that Ancient Booster Energy Capsule is kind of it here. So the HP mods are very, very interesting here. Making that Okidogi VMAX is very, very funny. Getting the Bravery Charm or that Ancient Booster, really nice, and just making sure that these couple of Pokemon just don't get knocked out. And we see that the grab is going to be Floatstone as well as Quick Ball. So Alan is looking just to get all of his attackers into play, and once all those Pokemon are in play, decisions get a lot easier because you don't have to worry about fishing for Pokemon. You can just try to get your energies, try to get your other things, your bosses and stuff like that. We are just going to see Quick Ball getting rid of that fighting energy. Going to grab the Koraidon here. Again, that Unrelenting Onslaught attack, very nice. If your last turn you attacked with a ancient Pokemon, it hits for 180, which is huge. Knocks out most things in the format here. So, yep, going to see a good shuffle up here. And Cody's feeling pretty safe right here. He doesn't think anything's going to happen. And then, bang, double turbo energy coming down here. And that is 3 energy in play here. So now that Sandy Shocks is hitting for 90, does knock out that Hitmonchan. And Cody's in a bit of a tough spot just right off the bat here. Good news is the Brooklet Hill is still in play. So Cody is going to get to search his deck for another Pokemon. Putting it into play. He could go for something like the Hitmonchan here. Or, sorry, the Hitmonlee. Try to put deal 90 damage to something. But, that's not going to take a knockout. And we see he's just going to grab the Machop here. Machop is going to evolve into the Machoke. The Machoke kind of has that bench barrier style of ability. Prevents damage from attacks to bench Pokemon. And you can't put damage counters on him. So, very, very nice there. And then it's going to try to end up as the Machamp, which has the the Crisis Muscles ability. So it can have 300 HP if the opponent's at 3 or fewer prizes. And then does Strong Arm Lariat for 200. We see Nest Ball is going to get played here to put the Riolu into play. Riolu is going to try to end up as a Lucario, which has that Avenging Knuckle attack, a bit of a revenge attack for 1 energy. So very, very efficient revenge attacker there. And then we're going to see big Pokegear 3.0. I think Cody's looking for something like a Raihan here. If he has Raihan, he's going to be able to set up a big Okidogi and take a huge knockout here. But he does not find it. He does find teammates, which is really, really nice. Could maybe even grab Karina. Karina makes some sense here too. Because unfortunately, he does need the energy acceleration if he wants to get a knockout this turn. Otherwise, he's just going to end up passing. And so it's looking like he's just going to grab that teammates and he's just going to play it. And let's see, you're going to search his deck here. And this is it, folks. This is why you never look at the top of the deck. The next card, I do believe, was Raihan. So, yikes. And then we do see off of the teammates here, Cody's thinking about what he wants to get. I see he's eyeing up the Lucario as well as the Machamp. So he's got lots of good options here to try to set up his attackers here. Now, notably, this deck is not on Rare Candy, so he's not going to be able to go Rare Candy Machamp here. He's going to have to go through that Machoke. And we see, yep, he's getting the Raihan here, trying to make it so on his next turn can maybe set up a big Ogie Dogie attack here. So a big shuffle up happening. Yep, just going to be grabbing the Raihan as well as the Machoke here. So I think the idea here is he is going to be able to evolve up into the Machoke this turn. Or no, he is not. And we're just going to see a pass here. So the unit energy is getting played onto the Ogie Dogie. And so now the Ogie Dogie does get plus 100 HP here. So has 230. Not really in risk of getting knocked out at all on this next turn. And then we're going to see Trainer's Mail from Alan. And lots of good options. We see Rescue Stretcher as well as the Pokegear 3.0. And looking at Alan's hand, I don't think he's got a lot going on in terms of draw supporter here. We're going to see kind of the interesting conundrum of Fighting. Fighting has some of the best attackers in the game, but it has some of the worst support Pokemon. There's not a lot of draw power in these decks outside of supporters. So both players are going to be at the mercy of their top deck quite a bit here throughout the course of the game. We see nothing off of the Brooklet Hill. We see 4 of the Pokemon are in play, and I do wonder if that Slitherwing is in the hand. So I'm just going to see a big shuffle here. And then really going to be hoping that this Pokegear finds something really, really nice. Big Pokegear. And there is nothing for Alan. Nothing for him. So very, very unfortunate. Cody hit a lot of supporters on his Pokegear. Alan, not quite as fortunate. Taking the luck for both players just a little bit there. Just going to see a quick shuffle up here. And then, yeah, good news for Alan, though, is that he does just kind of get to take another attack. And even though he's not knocking out the Ogie Dogie, it really doesn't matter. Alan is already up a prize card here. So even if he doesn't take a knockout and Cody does on the next turn, it really doesn't matter because Alan's still up that prize card. And wow, we're just going to see Big Research draw a clean 7 cards here. Very nice. Just restocking that hand. We saw there wasn't a lot going on there. And now Alan is going to be able to really start powering stuff up here. Something to note, I did see that Alan drew the double colorless energy. We did film this tournament very quickly before the most recent bans of double colorless as well as twin energy, both of which are cards featured in the deck lists here. So you are going to see these cards over the span of the game, but you know, it takes a little bit of time to make these videos. So unfortunately, we had filmed this before those bans had happened. We do see that Alan has played the Gutsy Pickaxe. He's going to get that Pal Pad into his hand. Sometimes the Gutsy Pickaxe can even be some energy acceleration in this deck, which is really cool. And then, yeah, that's we're kind of sitting here thinking, I don't think Alan has access to a dark energy yet. We do see the counter energy is there, which is cool, but that is not going to be turned on anytime soon. And big escape rope happening here. So Cody's got a tough decision to make. He did put that Machoke into his hand, and so putting the Machop up doesn't make sense. But man, the Riolu into the Lucario was going to be a plan to take a knockout here. So he's just going to have to go up into the Riolu, and then Alan is just going to retreat into that Koraidon here, which can use the Unrelenting Onslaught attack to take a knockout here on that Riolu. And good news for Cody. Now the Ogie Dogie is just going to be clean. As long as Cody can find a fighting energy, he is going to be able to take a knockout on his next turn here. We see the twin energy is going to come down onto the Great Tusk, and Alan's going to take another prize card here. Cody's going to draw, and he found Guzma. Now, unfortunately, Cody does not have a fighting energy. Or no, he doesn't have fighting energy, but he has the Raihan, which has now been turned on thanks to the knockout from Alan on his last turn. So, very, very nice for him here. Good news is, oh no, but I don't think Cody no, Cody does. Cody has plenty of fighting energy in the discard pile. That is my mistake here. And we're just going to see the Brooklet Hill. Going to allow Cody to search another Pokemon out of his deck, and he's just going to grab that Hitmonlee Not going to get to do that special combo anytime soon here, but just gets to kind of grab it out of the deck. And if there's an escape rope or something like that, Cody is going to be able to kind of feed out that Hitmonlee to eat an attack here. We do see Raihan's going to put the fighting energy on the Okie Dokie, and Cody's going to get a Surge deck for anything. And I think he's just thinking about getting a fighting energy, which is pretty funny here. He hasn't attached for turn, so getting an attach onto the Machoke here is going to be really, really nice. So now Cody just needs to find Machamp plus attach for turn, and he is going to be able to get out there. Although I do believe Cody has like a Versus Seeker in his hand. So if this Okie Dokie gets knocked out, Cody can just Raihan, take another energy on the Machoke. Yep, we do see the Versus Seekers in the hand. So if for some reason this Okie Dokie does get knocked out, it's just going to get put back up in the active. U-turn board and then a knockout, and then we do see the Hitmontop was the grab. So maybe a Hitmon combo could come at some point throughout this game. Alan's going to go up into the Great Tusk, and he's got a Raihan of his own. It is only fair. And so we do know that Okie Dokie is going to be set up this turn. It is going to be able to punch. We're going to see some battling dogs here. It is kind of the name of the game. It's the best attacker for both players in this matchup. And so I think it's just going to be a matter of who can keep their Okie Dokie in play the longest, who can prevent knockouts, and who can heal that damage via something like an Acerola, right? And so Alan is thinking here, I don't know if he has access to a dark energy yet, so he may be forced to search for one of those rainbow energies. We know there are multiple rainbow energies in the deck here, and I do believe he is grabbing that Prism energy. If it's attached to a basic Pokemon, provides every type of energy, but only one, so really, really nice there. So great for Alan's deck. All of his Pokemon are evolutions, so really, really nice here. And no, we're just going to instead see a retreat up into the Sandy Shocks here. Alan knows he's not going to be able to take a knockout on this Okie Dokie, so he's making use of the fact that there's all this energy in play right now, and just going to smack this Okie Dokie for 90. Then Cody's going to knock it out with his Okie Dokie, tying them up at 4 prizes each, but then Alan's going to get to take a knockout with his Okie Dokie. And now he has a clean Okie Dokie in play here, which will be challenging for Cody to knock out. And so that is indeed what we're going to see. Big magnetic burst for 90, and it's back over to Cody here. Cody's got a couple of really nice cards in his hand here. We see that he has the Training Court to get back some fighting energy to start setting up some attackers. And he's going to start with that X-Transceiver here. He's going to roll a dice, which is one of my favorite effects in Pokemon. He's going to roll a dice, and that's it. He just gets to roll a dice. That was really fun. Didn't y'all enjoy? Just going to take a little break there. Just rolling some dice. One of my favorite things to do, y'all. But now Cody's got to think about what he's going to do here, and he's thinking about playing this Erica's Hospitality. He can only play it if he has 4 or less cards in his hand, which he does, and he's going to get to draw a card for each one of Alan's Pokemon in play. So this Erica is kind of only functioning for 3 cards, but it is better than nothing here, and we see that the Hawlucha Ordinary Rod being drawn here, and I believe that was the Night Stretcher as well. So let's see, Cody is eyeing up his discard pile here. We see that the Riolu, 2 fighting energy, and a Hitmonchan are in the discard pile, and Cody's thinking about what he wants to do here. I think he's going to Ordinary Rod those cards back into the deck here. And he's choosing to leave a fighting energy in the discard pile. Makes a lot of sense with that Training Court. And then, just going to Brooklet Hill, get that Riolu back out onto the bench here. So now Cody is one step closer to getting that Lucario set back up. That revenge attack, very, very nice. For Alan, we do see that he has that Carmine in the hand. I think that's his only draw supporter here. But again, really nice. We do just see that almost all the supporters in Alan's deck are just ones that draw cards or are otherwise very, very impactful. Things like Penny or Acerola. And we see that Cody is going to bump the Brooklet Hill to get that Training Court, so then Cody's going to be able to pick up a fighting energy from the discard pile. Unfortunately, Alan is also going to be able to make good use of that, and Cody is just going to attach a fighting energy to that Riolu. Definitely going to try to set up that Lucario very, very soon here. And we see a big knockout here, and Cody grabs the Kofu off of the prizes. Very nice, because Cody's hand wasn't doing a lot otherwise. Big draw for Alan, and it is just the Slitherwing here. So really nice, able to find another attacker, right? Alan just needs to chain together a couple more attackers, and he should be able to walk with the game. He is up on prizes, and Cody's Ogie Dogie is damaged. Alan is just going to grab that fighting energy, and he's going to put the luxurious cape on the Ogie Dogie. Big 330 HP. Made the joke before, but it is. This is Ogie Dogie VMAX here. Huge amount of hit points. And bench of the Slitherwing, and I imagine probably might just see an attach to that Slitherwing here. No, going to go onto the active Great Tusk. So now Alan's only 1 energy away from getting to use that giant Tusk attack for 160. Which is very, very nice. You know, and sometimes the land collapse can just steal a game if the opponent is a little too low here. And, unfortunately for Cody here, Marnie is going to come down here. Again, because there's no support Pokemon in the deck, both decks are very susceptible to hand attack. So if Cody just gets a clunker hand, he could just be out of the game. We do see that Cody got Bird Keeper, Field Blower, Hisuian Heavy Ball, and a Fighting Energy. So very, very nice getting the Fighting Energy. So if Cody can just find one of his evolutions, he'll be in a really, really good spot here. But we're just going to see an attack and bang, knocking out the Ogie Dogie. Whatever Pokemon Cody goes into is going to be really interesting here. He's choosing the Hitmonlee, which makes sense. The Hitmonlee has that U-turn board on it, but Cody does have the Bird Keeper here, so he may be trying to get a pivot happening. So if he Bird Keepers into something, he's going to have the evolution for it. Cody is going to play that level ball to search his deck and then shuffle it afterwards, and I think he's trying to get some of these key supporters off of the bottom of the deck here. Notably, I think the only 2 cards he can get here are the Hitmonlee as well as the Hawlucha. He's choosing to get the Hitmonlee here. Makes a lot of sense. And so big shuffle up here. It's going to be interesting. Cody does not have access to a good attacker this turn yet. Unable to knock out the Ogie Dogie. He's going to need to try to find one of those evolution cards if he wants to take a knockout on this turn. Either the Lucario or the Machamp would be really, really nice here. And let's see what Cody ends. I think he's going to have to play that Bird Keeper and just hope that he finds something good here. And he's choosing to go up into the Riolu, and he's going to draw 3 cards here. 1, Evolution Incense. There he goes. Oh, and a Rainbow Energy as well as a Night Stretcher. Very, very nice here for Cody. He's going to be able to get some big attacks going here. And with that Night Stretcher, going to get the Ogie Dogie back on the bench. And he even has the Darkness Energy in his hand in the form of that Rainbow Energy, so he can give that Ogie Dogie plus 100 HP here. Are just going to see the Evolution Incense, and he is going to be able to grab that Lucario. Has that Revenge attack. Very, very nice here. Avenging Knuckle, I believe, is the name of the attack. Does 150 damage if the opponent if you had a Pokemon get knocked out on the previous turn here. So very, very nice. Although Cody is thinking about the Machamp here, going for that Crisis Muscles to do 200 damage would be really, really nice. Unfortunately, Alan is at 3 prizes, so that Machamp would get plus 150, so big 300 HP. But nope, just going to see that Lucario getting that big Avenging Knuckle not a knockout, just going to deal some nice damage here. And good news, because of that luxurious cape, Cody can just punch it and then try to take some bonus prizes on the next turn here. We are seeing that he is going to he's just grabbing the fighting energy out of the discard pile with the training court and attaching it to the Ogie Dogie. Cody's being a little cute here by not putting that darkness energy on it. I know he was worried about the 1 damage counter from that Rainbow Energy, and he really shouldn't have been. Given that Ogie Dogie plus 100 HP is really nice because, he's going to get hard punished for it. Just going to Guzma up into the Great Tusk and then retreat back into the Ogie Dogie. So now Alan gets to knock out Cody's Ogie Dogie that he used some precious resources getting back into play. Cody also committed his attach for turn 2 that. And in a deck that doesn't have really good energy acceleration outside of exactly Raihan, this is going to put Cody on the back foot just a little bit here. Good news for him, though, is Lucario does get to Avenging Knuckle again on the next turn and can take 2 prizes off of this Ogie Dogie due to the luxury. Oh no, 330 is what the Lucario's got, or is what the Ogie Dogie has. So not going to be able to take a knockout here with the Avenging Knuckle. Going to have to try to use something like the Field Blower. Big training court, getting that energy, putting it on the Machoke. So now, as long as Cody can find that Machamp, he is going to be chilling. Biggest Hisui and Heavy Ball here. We know that there's no fighting Pokemon in there. We see big thing is the Rescue Stretcher is in the prizes. And so Cody's setting up his prize cards again here. And then, yeah, good. We do see one of my favorite cards in this deck is the Lily's Pokédoll. Lily's Pokédoll, very cute. Doesn't give up a prize card when it's knocked out. Cody's going to Field Blower here. I'm sure it's just got to be Floatstone, Luxurious Cape. No, he's going to do Luxurious Cape and the Training Court. He wants to cut Alan off of energy. Alan needs to get 2 more attackers set up here. And I think Cody's hoping that by knocking out this Ogie and then knocking out the Great Tusk, that Alan will be out of good attackers. And we are just going to see a big retreat into the Lucario. We see the Lily's Pokédoll. It has been benched. And then big Avenging Knuckle for a knockout here. And notably, Clara was the prize card here, so Cody might be able to get that Ogie or even the Lucario, try to get them set up again, which would be really, really nice. Good news for Alan, though. Even though his board state looks pretty weak, he has just such a ginormous hand that he's going to be able to get some things moving here. And we see that he's eyeing up the Guzma and Hala, allowing him to discard 2 cards from his hand, and he is picking the Heavy Ball. Again, no more Pokemon in the deck, and the Bicycle. Nope. Waiting, thinking if he wants to get rid of the Bicycle. Yeah, he is choosing the Bicycle here. So, gonna get a search his deck for a Stadium, a Tool, and a Special Energy card, which there are lots of all these things in the deck here, right? So I imagine for terms of stadiums, the options are Pokestop as well as Rose Tower. Both great ways to draw some cards. In terms of tools, I think the only one left is the Bravery Charm. And then in terms of special energy, there's still lots of options. Aurora Energy, Double Colorless, Counter, lots of options here. So we'll see what Alan ends up going for here. There are lots of good options here. Oh, no, there's the Air Balloon. I missed the Air Balloon. Yeah, Air Balloon, Pokestop, and Double Colorless Energy being grabbed here. Now, fortunately, though, the Double Colorless doesn't really do anything right now. Could put it on the Slitherwing, but it doesn't provide any way to attack, and the Great Tusk needs another Fighting Energy to get set up here. And let's see, big Pokestop. Let's see what Alan hits. He hits Nest Ball, Pal Pad, and Scoop Up Net. 3 items going into the hand. It is pretty nice. Unfortunately, none of those cards really do anything. Scoop Up Net, nothing really we want here. There's nothing in the deck to Nest Ball. Can use the Pal Pad to put some of those good supporters back in the deck. That's kind of it. So I think Alan is just going to be attaching for turn to this Great Tusk and is going to have to land Collapse for 160 here. And that's exactly what we're going to see. The Rainbow Energy is going to put 10 on that Great Tusk. So that Great Tusk has 130 remaining. And then we're obviously going to see a big land Collapse for knockout. And now Cody's being put in a little bit of a tough spot here. He doesn't have any good attacker set up yet. He's hoping to get that Machamp set up, but he's got to find it. And again, there's no good way to find it here. We do find Kofu. Kofu's a nice way to do it. Now Cody has an option here. He can... Oh, he's spinning his Pokestop. Scoop Up Net, Ball Guy, and TM Devo. Even though he's only getting 1 card, those other 2 were not cards he wanted to see. So just getting them out of the deck is a little bit of a perk for him here. So Cody's got an interesting choice here. He can choose to Clara. He can get back the Ogie. He can get back that Lucario. But he's not going to be able to do good attacks this turn. He's going to have to do something like a hit and run maybe. And we are just going to see he's going to grab the Ogie. He is going to grab the Riolu. No, he's going to grab a Fighting Energy. That's it. He goes, you know what? You got 1 prize card remaining. If you can knock out this Ogie, the game just kind of ends. I'm not going to get to Avenging Knuckle again here. So what we're going to see here, benching that. And he's not making the same mistake twice. Going to put that Rainbow Energy on the Ogie. And then the good news here is that he's just going to go into that Lily's Pokédoll. Really, really nice. Lily's Pokédoll cannot be knocked out. Or it can be knocked out, but there's no prize card. But I think Alan just drew what he needed to get out of this game here to really slam the door shut here. I do believe that is versus Seeker here. Going to Air Balloon onto the Slitherwing. Going to attach that Double Colorless Energy here. And then there is the versus Seeker. And it's going to allow Alan to get Guzma. And then that Guzma is going to pull up one of Cody's basics. He gets to retreat that Slitherwing back into the Great Tusk and is going to be able to take a big knockout there. And then that is the game. We saw that Alan was able to set up his attackers first. We saw Cody had a lot of bulk in his deck here. The Hitmon combo not really doing a lot. And his other attackers being evolution lines made him just significantly slower than Alan. So Alan was really able to turbo his way to victory. But that is going to do it for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like the video and leave me a comment. What's your favorite build of fighting? What things in the fighting archetype get you excited? But with that, my name is Cody Hope and I am signing out. I hate having to record me lose. First time I'm losing on camera. Unbelievable.